each block is 8 threads. If you look down at the profile draft, to consolidate it so you're not writing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 56 times, we've got 7 repeats. Each little square here is 1 repeat of 8 threads. So 7 repeats of block A is going to give you 56 ends. Now, just because we wanted to make it look a little nicer and with more interest, we added green. Block B, the first block B is 6 repeats, 48 ends, and it's green.
6 repeats?
Yeah. Can you read that?
So why would one be 6 repeats and 1 7?
Because that's the way we designed it.
Okay.
So that the blocks are different sizes.
So the total, this is the best
Yeah.
way to
Yeah.
determine the total.
And if you look at how it's going to look on the loom, this block is going to be slightly bigger than this block. Except for this block is also at the selvage edge. And what happens at the selvage edge? You get a little bit of pulling.
It would be probably 6.
So heavy.
Yeah. So in this threading sequence, there's also allowance for 4 ends either side to be salvaged, to sort of take up what's going to happen at the edge.
And how are they set up?
They're set up
Heavy?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically an extension of the block, but it's not a full block.
But they're not here.
No, they're not in the profile graph.
Right. Should we sort of...
It's, well, down here it says no, 4 threads
okay.
at selvage.
Okay.
You're going to often find that the 4 threads at the selvage are not always the same threading sequence as the blocks.
Okay.
So it's very standard to see something noted down below that your selvage, you're going to thread 1, 3, 1, 3, or 2, 4, 2, 4 on either end, whatever it happens to be. It's just a very common way of knowing how to treat your edges.
Because the one on the right will be 1, 2, 3, 4, but the one on the left will be 4, 3, 2,
No,
1.
see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because your block is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not like a standard tool where you're going to reverse. You're not going to reverse because your blocks are standing in. You're going to reverse your blocks, but you're not going to reverse the sequence of threads.
And is it on that sample too? Or I didn't notice.
Let's see. Quite possible. I haven't counted the ends here. It's quite possible.
You can't see.
You can't see it.
Okay.
And this sample you can see that the blocks in the white at the edge, there's 1, 2, 3 blocks. In our draft here, there's only 1 block. You're not going to see
Right.
this pattern.
It's a simple.
Yeah, we
straightforward.
simplified it for purposes of the situation. And the same thing in here, this stripe, which is blue, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks.
But here 1.
There's only 1 block. So the stripe at the edge, which is white, is block A. The next stripe is block B, just to make it more simple.
Okay.
And then we have a middle portion which has 240 ends of white, but I've created some blocks within those 240 ends. So for interest. Yeah, so that when you do your weaving, you're going to have a little square here.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And then it also gives the idea of weaving blocks without color change. So we've got block A is white, block B is green, then we've got 4 repeats of block A, and that's 48 ends, it's white. Next 3 repeats of block B, 24 ends, still white, no color change. And then the middle part of the weaving is 102 ends. It's 14 repeats, and it's of A.
Yeah.
This is where we reverse, but you're not going to reverse 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to reverse your blocks. You're going to go to block B. It's 3 repeats. Block A, 4 repeats. That's still all white. And then, and when you start to thread this, it makes more sense. Then we're going to go to the green stripe on the other side. It's 56 ends, 7 repeats of block B, and that's green.
56
This row is A and this row is B.
The 7 repeats of green is 56.
So that's different than on the other side. It's 48 on the other side. Is that
Oh.
what you're saying there?
Sorry, yeah,
This
I've,
one
yeah,
says-
if that's the
Yeah.
case, I've just done it, I've just written it out.
So is it 56 or
48 ends, it should be 48,
It should be 40.
yeah,
And 6 repeats, 7 repeats.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Can
I just copied,
Yeah.
got confused.
That's all right.
Yes.
Forgive
So,
you.
Yeah.
so what is it supposed to be?
1, 2,
48?
3, 4,
So
5.
this-
Yeah, it's,
Should be
in the
similar to
draft,
this
one.
it's
Okay.
6,
Yeah.
but I've written out the wrong,
Yeah, that's fine.
let me change it on mine.
So this one is
And
the
so we're going
48?
to change it
Yeah.
to 6
Yeah.
repeats
I want
there.
to make sure I don't make
Need
it.
your pen?
Yeah, so it's this one that I did.
So it's the next to the last one
Yeah,
Should be.
is 6 instead of 7.
so it's 3
So it should be the
repeats.
same as
Yes.
this green
Yes,
one?
yeah.
But now it's 48 ends over here where it's green. It's going to be same over
Same
here.
over here.
So
48.
we're going to change
Yeah.
it from 56 to 48?
Yeah,
Okay.
so basically you do your center block here,
These two should be the
and then
same.
you do the
Okay.
reverse.
These two should be.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So this
Okay.
is the same, isn't
Yes.
it?
Okay.
It's
there's the
this one
green.
that's wrong.
Yeah.
So
it
did
should
we
be
add
56.
4 threads
And
here
if-
at the beginning?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because the 56
And
ends of
7
white is the
repeats,
blocks.
Right.
Yeah.
Add 4 ends,
Yeah.
makes it
Someone
60,
changed somebody's.
which
Yeah.
is what we wound up.
Great,
You
thanks.
can even make a
Clever.
circle here if you want
Yes.
to circle that it's 60 ends.
Oh,
Now,
I see.
I wrote out the threading sequence down here. Normally, you're not going to find that on a weaving draft.
Right.
I wrote it out for, yeah.
Because we need help.
And I think that in this case I did it correctly here. So block A,
56.
7 repeats, 56 ends. And remember, there's also 4 ends for selvage on top of that,
Yes.
making a total of 60
60.
white. And now look at our
Yeah.
warp. Did we
Yeah,
why 60?
Yeah.
Selvage is
Yeah.
white, is it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's the same color as the block.
This one doesn't work. Yeah, that's why.
So block B is, I need to, when I come to block A, which is 14 repeats, I then have an arrow going up.
I don't have another one, but
Yeah.
use this.
That means you reverse.
We can share.
Well, no, I give you the
I'll find it then.
I don't have a pencil.
I thought that was pencil.
Do you want a
Where's your
pen?
arrow going up?
It's a pen acceptable.
Hey.
So, does everybody see the arrow here?
Yes.
Here, it means that after you've done your
Oh,
big
that's
block, you reverse what you've already threaded. Now, one other way of writing that out in a draft is it would say reverse. And it's shorthand for meaning do exactly what you did.
And you're reversing from this, is that why the X is
Yes,
there?
yeah. So not
Not there.
reversing block A, you're reversing from there. So you thread this block, and then you reverse up.
You do block A,
Oh, okay.
and then you do block B going
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah. And that's where you have your 3 repeats. So sometimes you'll see a draft like this written, and they'll only have 1/2 of it.
Yeah.
And then they'll
And a
say
repeat.
reverse. Or, yeah, it's not repeat, it's reverse.
Okay.
This one, they've written out the whole profile draft, because it's a small one. You can do that, it's a small one. But if you've got one that's, say, 800 ends, that's a big draft to write out.
When you want to find something, you
Yeah, exactly. So that one's written out all together too.
Maggie, do you have a pen?
I'm not writing. I'm relying on the technology.
all written
Yeah,
down.
they're all fairly narrow warps, so I think they would have written them all out. Now this one they might say.
She'll go to YouTube to check what we said.
Anyway,
But as you're looking at these drafts, eventually you get so that you can see, you can visualize. Because
yeah.
now because we have the color in here, that's actually right now going to, it helps some people, it hinders some people. But if you look at the middle section here, here's the middle section, here's the next block here, and then here's this block here. So you should be able to start to visualize, looking at this, at least the proportions of how your blocks are gonna look. And if you think that maybe this one is not big enough or is too small, you know, whatever, you can then change your draft around.
Make your stripe wider,
Yes,
whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah. But
So we don't have that horizontal stripe, do we?
no, we don't
No.
have the ones
So ours,
here.
we won't have this.
That's right.
Ours will have this.
Yeah,
and
it's
this.
just gonna be very
This
simple
one,
in the
yes.
middle. And so also you won't have this kind of
Yes.
detailing here.
Yeah.
It'll just be a simple
Yes.
white stripe.
Yeah.
And then when you're changing your blocks in your weaving, depending on how you have set up your pattern, you don't have to do it exactly like this. You don't even have to put any blocks at all. You could just weave stripes. So that's, once we have it set up for weaving, that's your decision. That's your designing. But you'll have to figure out a way of writing it down so that you can
Do the reverse when
do
you
the
get to the
reverse,
other
yeah,
side.
Yeah, because that's going to be part of the exercise, is to square your pattern.
And
Now
that's
this
not
one,
before.
yeah, now this one has a mistake. It's not squared. You can figure it out. Some
I
people
know
have already
the
seen
answer
it.
to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, this
Yeah,
one.
that
Yes,
one.
yeah.
So squaring it then refers to making sure that from the
It's
middle it's
symmetrical,
the same,
yeah.
so that you reversed it
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and also, when you take it off the loom, you've had your take up and your pull in, that these squares are actually square. I mean, if you are taking a course to get a Master Weaver certificate, that's what they measure.
Maybe
Now-
we should offer a prize to the person who gets the squarest.
Okay.
Also in here, yeah.
the squarest.
In this magazine here, it's a great for talking about all these techniques.
Look at them measure.
And here, there's two squares, but one is not squared off.
Yeah,
And
one is,
this one is.
one is a little bit, it's
that's
it's
why
sort
it
of,
looks
they added
widthwise.
one,
sort of
one-
like on your TV screen, when you haven't adjusted it correctly so that,
Yeah,
that,
faces are longer.
yes.
Or their bums
So
are
they
wider.
talk about this here. Weaving
the one
to
that's square.
square.
Okay.
And the other thing is, once you've had the exercise, maybe you decide, I don't like it square. You don't have to do it square.
No.
But it's, you need to know what it means.
Yeah.
Can you pass me that magazine just for a second?
And you can't do this with a 4 harness loom.
Oh, you can square things with a
yeah?
4 harness loom, it's just that we're working with 8 harnesses. We have it. And
Okay, so you
it's a-
can't do the block, I guess is what I
You
meant.
can do a
Yes.
block, but you would have to have a different weave structure. There's
And
many,
it's in that magazine too.
yeah.
If you,
It looks, both of them look the same.
No.
Jeepers.
No.
one is more elongated than
If you
the
count the
other.
picks, there's as many picks in each one of these samples, but one sample is narrower than the other sample,
Narrower or,
squished.
yeah. I think if you read the article, it says that they had to add one pick to make it square.
So, yeah, and with overshot, it makes
And a
difference
pick
also.
is a shuttle throw on the left.
Yes,
So that isn't very much, it's off, but.
yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
And often, I mean, ideally, you have the same number of picks in your warp and in your weft, but usually things are not ideal, and you need to make those kind of adjustments.
So is there factored in how tightly you weave?
Yes, how tight you beat,
Definitely,
yeah.
That
And
can change
this loom
structure.
is, for this project, this loom is actually pretty good. It's lightweight. We're not gonna have a lot of boom, heavy beating, you know. You don't wanna pack it in.
It's not a rug.
Yes,
This
it's
is-
not a rug. You wanna have a lighter hand when you're beating something like this. And this loom will be good for that.